I generated $20,000 on Etsy in a 30-day time window, and I'm gonna prove to you that that wasn't done by luck. And you know, after scaling multiple shops to 4 figures, 5 figures, and 6 figures now, I do still see a lot of people out there trying to say that Etsy is too saturated of a business model. And so that's why I wanted to record today's video, to show you the exact process that I followed so that you can literally just copy it and paste it directly into your own Etsy business. And this is exactly what one of my old students, Craig, did as well. Literally copy and paste the exact same strategy, and that also enabled him to make over 5 figures per month on Etsy, selling the exact same products. But first of all, I just want to say, if you go back to any of my older videos on my YouTube channel, I haven't removed anything, and you can still see all of the videos where I actually first started this very business. So I remember saying at the time, I wanted to prove to you guys that if you do things right on Etsy, you can make 5-figure months with pretty much any business model and pretty much any product strategy, as long as you do things right. And that's why I chose to sell print-on-demand mugs, okay? Because I wanted one of the most saturated business models that there is, one of the most saturated products. This is what everybody always says about Etsy, right? It's too saturated. So I did this to prove to you guys that if you do things right, you can scale an incredible business, okay? But like I said, I fully put my reputation on the line. I was that confident in Etsy. Go back and check the videos if you want before you watch this video, to kind of set the scene a little bit. Now let's talk about what happened with this business, okay? Because it wasn't always where it is right now. So again, go back to those videos, but at first, for the first few months, it started getting some traction, right? I was on it with the listings, you know, I was red hot. That's how my ADHD brain works, right? Like when I get into something new, I go all in on it and I just obsess over it. So I'm pretty sure I got to around about 100 listings pretty quickly. And in those first few months, did manage to generate some pretty decent revenues, like I think a few thousand, you know, nothing crazy, but still pretty good for a new business. It started getting some sales and some momentum, and I used it for my YouTube videos, which I filmed for you guys. And then I did what like so many people out there always do. After I filmed the videos, I basically stopped putting as much effort into the shop as what I should have. So I got it to a point where it started paying me money every month, and then I really like backed off. And again, personal life comes into that as well, right? I was going quite heavy on the YouTube at the time. I really wanted to grow the YouTube out. I was also working on some other businesses as well at the time, some other Etsy shops that I own. So I just unfortunately didn't have as much time to put into it as I would have liked. But this exactly proves the point to you guys, okay? And this is why I like being as transparent as I can with absolutely everything. When I stopped uploading consistently, what do you think happened to the results? The revenue pretty much flatlined. That is just the way that the Etsy business model works, right? Etsy always rewards consistency plus performance. Like I keep saying, the number of high quality listings you have on your shop is normally a direct reflection of how much revenue you're getting back from that business, okay? So it's at that point where I then had to make a serious business decision. And so I said to myself, right, Alfie, you're either gonna go all in on this business, okay? Continue with what you set out to do, right? Maybe sacrifice some other stuff in like some other areas and some other businesses and just go all in on this one, or you can just shut it down, okay? And you know, there's always that sense of like, oh, you know, if I shut it down, if I don't make another video about it, you know, will some people care? Will people just not care at all? But I didn't want to be that guy. And like I said, you're probably not going to trust me very much if I would have started something and just shut it down, right? And not saw it through. Yeah, that's what I kind of sat down and had a bit of like a heart-to-heart to myself. And I said, right, I've got to go all in on this. I've got to do this. Like, I know Etsy works. I know what I've got to do to get to the point where I want this business to get to. And I'm going to stop treating this like a little random side hustle and actually commit some time into it. So it was at that point then when I started making some serious changes to the business, which reflected in definitely a massive increase in revenues. And I'll talk to you about what these are now, because they're going to be very applicable to your business. So first one was having a consistent uploading schedule and a consistent uploading plan. Like I said before, right, number of high quality listings equals expected revenue from the shop, okay? You see that time and time again. So this was when I had to put together a consistent upload plan. And this was when I started uploading at least 2 new products to my Etsy shop per day, and really trying to put the system in place to allow myself to do that. So that's when, instead of trying to create, you know, the most complicated designs in the world, I kind of looked to scale back on that a little bit and maybe make some more simplistic designs that I could get out. But those simplistic designs I was making was still very much based on positive research and still validated ideas, you know? So I wasn't just going out there and making totally random, simple designs. They were still validated. It's just I was taking a more simplistic approach that I knew I could do more of. And with that, in terms of the designs I was making, a huge game changer was going really simple, but going personalized. So if any of you have been following my shop, I don't really care if you end up on it. I'm not gonna say the name, but if you find it, whatever. You'll see that I started uploading a ton of personalized products onto the shop. And it was the simplistic designs plus the personalized products that really enabled me and really allowed my shop to scale very rapidly at that point. So that was the first major change. The second major change was completely revamping all of my mockups. I was almost at the position where I knew that I had to improve my images, but I almost wasn't taking my own advice. I don't know if any of you guys are like that, but I certainly knew that I was. So that's when I kind of sat down and I was like, right, I'm just gonna spend a whole day, or you know, if you work a 9 to 5, just spend the whole evening. But I was like, I'm gonna spend an allocated block of time to just look at mockups and look at upgrading my mockups. So that's when I went away, I bought new mockups from Etsy. I also actually started using AI as well to alter mockups that I could use for my shop and actually start making some of my own mockups too. So also turning JPEG mockups into PSD mockups as well, because obviously they look a lot more realistic. And so much so, I even went out and paid a photographer to create my own mockups as well and actually do like real life photo shoots. I ordered all of the stock and everything. But yeah, I just want to get across to you guys how important I saw the mockups and how important I knew they were to the future success of the shop. And so, yeah, I was kind of at the point where I then started getting a lot more success, like I said, because of the upgraded designs, the added personalization, the way better imagery. But one thing I will say to you guys is that even after you do all that, I've got a lot of experience on Etsy, but for you, especially starting out, it might be quite easy for you to even miss, say, like 1 or 2 little things that even if you do everything else right, it could still really impact your sales. And so, again, I've been trying to do this as much as I can on recent videos. I want to make as much free stuff as I possibly can to help you guys get success on Etsy. So if you're in that position and you don't want to keep guessing, you don't want to take any risks, that's why I made the Etsy listing checklist for you guys. So literally exactly how I do my Etsy listings, I put that into a checklist for you. So feel free to just go ahead, download that. You can get that with a link in the video description. And yeah, like I said, that's completely for free to you to follow. And that should definitely take a lot of the guesswork out of what you've been doing. And it's also the exact same checklist that I run through with all of my students as well. And they've literally made 5 figures plus very consistently, okay? I know that it works, guys. But guys, I'm gonna say something to you as well. And this is something I found. Even with consistent uploading, okay, you probably will still get to a stage where you're gonna hit a bit of a wall, right? Bit of a plateau. And one thing that I see a lot of sellers doing when they hit this wall, right, is that they start to panic and they start thinking they need to massively change direction, right? Or they start panicking that, you know, this not working? Is Etsy algorithm changed or something? Like, is what I've been doing for this time that was proven to work in the past, is it now never gonna work for me again, right? So I know a lot of people panic when you get to that stage. And like I show you here, I definitely got to that stage as well. You can see results start to plateau, right? Like I said, I've been there, I've done it before. I've got a lot of faith in Etsy. So I knew that the right thing to do wasn't starting over. The right thing to do wasn't to pivot. The right thing to do was go a level deeper into the shop, really start to analyze in detail what was working for me up until this point, and then really just start to like make that a lot more concrete and start to scale out the directions based on internal data that was positive, but still also external data that was positive drivers too. So I'm getting positive signals internally from my shop of what listings have been working for me in the past, what strategies have been working in the past, and external as well. And I'm just looking at all of those positive inputs and seeing how I can scale it. And so it was at this point when I really started to look deeper into the stats where the penny started to drop, right? And I know that that's an English phrase. I appreciate you might not all understand that, but that basically means like things started to become a lot clearer for me. I started noticing consistent patterns in, number 1, what color mugs were selling for me best. Number 2, what sorts of styles of designs were selling for me best. Number 3, my personalized designs were selling way better than anything else. Number 4, the more targeted a design was, right? So the more niche and targeted a certain design was for, say, a buyer occasion or a specific person or, you know, a specific holiday throughout the year, for example, the more targeted a product was, with the design and the SEO, the more that product was selling. So I got some examples of like birthday mugs, for example, did incredibly well for me. Some very specialized, personalized animal mugs as well, which did very well for me too. So I basically started adding up those different sorts of styles that was working and just multiplying them. So doing a load more animals, a load more birthday events, right? A load more seasonal events. And it was at that point when I stopped getting like one-off spikes all the time and very inconsistent incomes, and things started becoming way more consistent. And then it's at that point where I'm gonna show you on my screen now, where, as you can see, in that time period, 14th of November to 14th of December, our revenue was 14,685 Great British pounds, like I said, in that 30-day period, which equates to over $20,000 in a 30-day time period. And now, again, if you go back to some of the older videos on this, you'll see that I was saying I wanted to try and hit 24,000 in a 30-day period. We got just under it, but still, I'm pretty happy with it, to be honest. And now, one thing I will say is, of course, these are Q4 months, okay? I know that's the first thing that somebody with the wrong mindset is gonna say, oh, but that's only because it's Christmas time. Obviously, it's because it's Christmas time, right? I'm selling a giftable product. Of course, the revenue is gonna be higher during Christmas time. This is why I chose to sell this type of product, so that I maximize my money coming into the business during gifting seasons. And then when there's lulls throughout the rest of the year, I can then put my time in to make products to increase the revenues during those periods as well, right? That's just how I've planned out the business. And so that's what I want to say to you as well, guys. Even if you look now at January 2026, okay, I'm filming this at the start of February. Even at January, what you'd say is the worst month of the year, right? 3,800 Great British pounds. So again, let's see what that equates to. Still over $5,000, right? In the worst month of the year. So I predict with this shop, knowing what I know about Etsy, that's gonna stable out at about $10,000 per month consistently from the months of, say, May onwards. And then I do predict Q4 this year will be even better than the Q4 I've just had, right? Because like I said, I've only just started taking this shop pretty seriously. And then yeah, like I said, always being fully transparent as well. December 2025, 13,000 Great British pounds in sales. And November 2025, again, 13,685 in Great British pounds. So 13,685. Basically 2 months in a row, we've done over $18,000 per month in a row. And there was that one time period in between where we did over $30,000 in revenue. And then in terms of profit margins for this business, guys, this has been running at between 30% and 35%. So again, you can very easily see how, with not a ton of time, but consistency and the right system, this can very much become a full-time business for you. Incredibly good business model using a very repeatable system, okay, that not just myself has used, my clients have used as well and got very good results. I know probably some of you are there sitting, oh, but did you use ads as well? Yes, I also did use ads. But again, like I said, full transparency here. If you look at my revenue for that same time period, so the November to the December, the exact same 30 days, it literally equated to around about 10% of the total revenue, right? So literally 90% of the revenue that was brought in during that period was organic, completely organic. And there's not many business models out there that will give you that. Especially if I was running meta ads, I was trying to do that using Instagram or whatever, I was trying to build my own website and do that. A free ROAS is very good, okay? I didn't even scale these ads to as high as I could have. I could have made more revenue if I wanted to put more into the ads, right? This is just what I'm saying. It is such a scalable business model. I just really cannot say enough good things about Etsy. And I really think that Etsy as a business model and as a sales platform is so slept on still. AI is very much still in its infancy in terms of being able to create winning designs, right? And I just think that when more people keep clocking onto that, there's going to be more competition on Etsy. So you are in the golden era now. You're in the golden era of being able to do this. I did this with just over 300 total listings, and it did not take me a lot of time. Like I tell you now, I do not have much time to spend on my Etsy shops at all with the coaching, the YouTube. I also run a property development business back in the UK as well. There's a lot of stuff I do outside of just running my Etsy shop. So I wish I had more time, but yeah, that's what I'm saying. You can literally do it without having to put a ton of time in at all. And then like I always say, guys, if you're struggling with knowing exactly how to implement any of these strategies that I've talked about in this video, in my other videos. If you don't know where to get started, if you're fed up of guessing all of the time, then this is exactly why I made my community the Etsy Accelerator community. Inside, I literally teach you how to make a full-time income on Etsy using my systems to take all of the confusion out of what you're doing. It's the same strategy that I use to grow multiple different Etsy shops now to 5-figure months. It's the same strategy that Sajir used to make well over 7,000 euros in a single month as well. And now actually be able to quit his job to fully relocate as well, just from Etsy. And so if you're serious about making a good go at this in 2026, then check out the link in the video description. There's going to be a form to fill out. We'll see if you're a good fit for the community. Not everybody gets into it now. And yeah, if you are a good fit, then I look forward to seeing you in there. And if you want a real base level of information to get started on Etsy that's going to walk you through all of the opening steps, then I recommend you to check out this video here. I think that's going to give you a lot of clarity on it. Otherwise, thank you so much for watching, guys. I love you all. Take good care of yourself, and I'll see you on the next video. Cheers.